the Supreme Court is a court of policy, and like you hear their lordship say it, they are all Nigerians, they are aware of what is going on. Democracy must flourish.
The recent Supreme Court judgment is now a big win for the faction of Senator David Mark. There has been a steady jubilation by members of the ADC loyal to the David Mark faction, and this is going down well as they are hopeful that the INEC will reinstate their name in their portal. This is a great move, and with this judgment, democracy will thrive because there will be serious opposition to the majority party, APC. Now, this doesn't end the case because there's still a pending case in the Federal High Court where the two factions of leadership in the ADC are still struggling it out to see who becomes the authentic leader of the party. So that is not wished away. But in the coming days, we expect that ADC should be able to feed a candidate to contest the elections. Now, there will be a serious back and forth movement within the ADC to resolve their internal crisis. And still, there's still going to be a strong and vibrant opposition to stand the current government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. All these are what we are expecting to pan out within days. Now, with the recent Supreme Court judgment, there will be a great strength that will lie between the ADC led by former Senator David Mark. As you can see from the Supreme Court premises, the jubilation is non-stop. Let's hear from the counsel to the Senator David Mark faction of the ADC to see what he has to say.
The order made by the Court of Appeal that status quo antebellum be restored had been set aside. In other words, the basis upon which INEC acted to remove the name of Senator Mark and his ESCO had been removed by the Supreme Court agreeing that the order of status quo antebellum made by the Court of Appeal was unwarranted, had no basis to make it, it was unnecessary. But affirm that we should go to raise the question of jurisdiction before the trial court. In other words, the Supreme Court allowed the appeal. The objection to the competence of the appeal was dismissed. The appeal was valid, but they agreed that we ought not to have come to the Court of Appeal for the question to come and show cause. And so we are going back to the Court of Appeal. That is it. The Supreme Court is a court of policy, and like you hear their lordship say it, they are all Nigerians, they are aware of what is going on. Democracy must flourish, and it must thrive.
It's a victory for multi-party democracy in Nigeria. We have repeatedly maintained that anything contrary to what the Supreme Court had ruled will have set Nigeria's democracy back by many years. So we are glad, we have remained confident in the judiciary. We have repeatedly maintained that we are confident in the judiciary, and we are very proud as Nigerian citizens today that the Supreme Court has not let the judiciary down, has not let Nigeria down, and as Nigerians we are very proud. And this means to us that democracy will survive in Nigeria. Then we can go back and begin to do the hard work of politics. As we have had the lawyers explain, the full implication is that the basis on which INEC acted by removing the name of David Mark, Rauf Aregbesola and other executives from its portal have now been removed.
That's it.
So INEC now has an obligation to immediately restore the name of David Mark, Rauf Aregbesola and other ESCO of the party on this portal and begin to continue to deal with us until the High Court determines the case.